Hi, and welcome back to the Addictive Wellness Channel. My name's Sage, and today I'm excited to share with you guys my 6 favorite herbs to set the stage for a romantic evening, or to just generally incorporate long term to optimize your romantic life. Now, these are going to approach it being romance, from a number of different directions, because there's nothing simple about romance. There is nothing, it's not just something that is one aspect and that's all there is to it. There's many levels and elements to it, all of which ideally you need to get into the right place for the magic to occur. So the first one I want to mention is reishi mushroom. And a lot of people would not be very inclined to think of this as something for romance. But here's why I think this is incredibly important. This is one of, if not the best herb to bring down stress and anxiety and get you out of your head and into your heart. There is nothing worse for prospective romance and a lovely evening with your partner than to be super stressed. We all know that. You don't want to have your head somewhere else. Stress is also horrible for your hormone health if it's like chronic stress. And if your body is in stress all the time, you're not going to be producing the right hormones to have a healthy romantic life. And that's going to be a huge issue in your relationship. So reishi is tremendous, and it's such a great heart-opening herb. If you haven't had a real strong, what in China would be called a Shen reishi. This is a reishi with a very strong spiritual, elevating energy to it. You really are missing out. Reishi, it opens the heart, and that's why whenever I'm making a romantic elixir, or for example with our love chocolate, reishi always comes in the mix, because this is such a beautiful thing, and you don't want to have just a base chakra experience. This is an opportunity to connect on many levels, including on the heart level, and I think reishi can really be supportive there. The next one is Schizandra berry. And this has so many benefits, right? Not only does it make you more beautiful, which certainly helps in its own way for romance, because it's so good for skin health, but Schizandra, specifically as we are looking down the romantic pathway, is great because for women, it's said traditionally to increase the quantity of the female elixir. And then on the man's side, it's also very helpful. It's like this was almost like designed for this. So for women, you're increasing the quantity of the female elixir. For guys, you are delaying ejaculation and helping with premature ejaculation issues. Schizandra is an astringent, locking herb in its nature. And so it's going to help for guys to keep things locked down until the appropriate time. Then the next one I want to talk about is black ginger. This is an herb coming from Thailand, and it's what's called a phosphodiesterase inhibitor. You don't need to know exactly what that means, but the basic breakdown is that when you have black ginger, you're able to have more vasodilation. More vasodilation means more opened up blood flow. For guys, it's obvious why that's going to be helpful. More blood, well, that has certain levitational properties to it. But it's also important for women. Women need blood flow down south of the border, and that's a big part of, like why foreplay is so important, is to bring the blood flow to these areas. And if you have some vasodilators incorporated, like black ginger, that can help open up the blood flow and make it easier for the blood to go to these places, is great. And so this is like, I try to line these up in a way that's going to be a win-win for everybody, so you and your partner can have the same drink. You don't really need to do different things. You can both really be enjoying it. The next would be Cistanche. This kind of aligns with the black ginger a little bit. Cistanche is one of the most famous traditional Chinese aphrodisiac herbs, and is really great at sending the circulation down south of the border. It's also really good for supporting the kidneys and the adrenals. It's got a bit of a fiery energy to it, and so it's supporting the endocrine system. So if you think about this in a bit of an evolutionary kind of context, an animal or a human is not going to be necessarily driven to mate as a first priority if they are feeling very vulnerable, if they're feeling that they've tapped into their energy reserves and they're in a bit of a fragile state. They're not necessarily on the look for romance. But if you are feeling like strong and vital and powerful, this is a much better way to feel going into something, and it's gonna, open you up a lot more when you're feeling good. And nobody says, I don't want to feel good before making love to my partner. No, you want to feel amazing. And this next herb goes right into that as well. Mukuna pruriens. This is an Ayurvedic herb, although it grows in many tropical regions around the world. And this is a seed pod that grows on a tree. And if you subscribe to the doctrine of signatures, by which the thing, whatever it looks like, is what it works on in the body, like some people say, okay, a walnut is good for the brain. Berries, they're round, they're good for your eyes, and various things like this. Certain things might look like the lungs or different body parts, right? Well, if you look at a picture of Mukuna, it looks like a male appendage on a tree. So it's a great aphrodisiac herb. It's the highest natural source of L-dopa, precursor to dopamine. So it's a serious happiness neurotransmitter coming in there. And Mukuna has been shown in animal studies. It's interesting the way they describe this. So they give it to the mice, and they say it increases the frequency of mounting sessions, the duration of the mounting sessions, and decreases the time of rest needed in between the sessions. So I'll let you guys, interpret that, but I think you get what's going on there. So this is a very powerful herb in many directions, but it is a great romantic tool to have in your herbal toolkit in your little home tonic bar. And then I also want to mention Hoshu. Now, this is an herb that has a great story, and we'll put a link to a video talking more about this. But it's one of the greatest fertility supportive herbs. It's a yin-jing herb, meaning it's very restorative of your core kidney adrenal reserve energy. It's putting more money in your energy savings account. And this one I put in here, it's both for men and women, because look, everybody needs this, but especially for men, because frequent ejaculation for men is something that is going to be depleting these core reserves. This is what's called in China a jing leak. And so, like once a week is a healthy amount. And you can certainly have relations during that week, but you don't want to let it go. And then, ideally you develop the ability to have orgasms without ejaculation. And that's, something we can talk about further. If you guys want to have a video about that, leave a comment below and let me know, and we'll see. But to have herbs in here that are restoring this. So for, a lot of guys, like you'll have sex, you'll ejaculate, and then interest in being really close to your partner like fades out for a bit because you're a bit depleted and you got to go rebuild. And that's certainly good to have that awareness. And but if you can have an herb that helps to replenish what you've been depleting, if you are being very active in this department, that's a really good idea. And so that's why we put Hoshu in our love chocolate. So we've got the really active aphrodisiacs in there, things like black ginger and Cistanche. We don't do Schizandra in there because the Schizandra flavor doesn't quite combine very well with chocolate. But there's a lot of really great things you can do with Schizandra berry, just a little bit separately. But these herbs, I think, have such great synergy together in this department. So let me know if you guys have ever tried any of these herbs, what your experience has been, if you're open to sharing. And if you wouldn't mind if this video has been helpful and positive or interesting or has made you laugh or anything good, do me a favor and give us a like, follow us or subscribe depending on where you're watching this video. And I hope this brings a little bit of extra love into your Valentine's Day this year. Or if you're not watching this shortly after we posted it, if you're watching this in the summertime or many years from now, guess what? Love doesn't have to be seasonal. You can use these any time of year to great effect, and I sure hope you will. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and look forward to seeing you again here soon.